The Politics program is brought to you, as always, by patreon.com/JURY. If you want to get bonus content, there's only one way to do it. Head on over to patreon.com/JURY. Pledge at the $3 a week level, and you get not only this show, always for free, the Jury Show, always for free, the Friday Hype Train, a Patreon exclusive, but also for that $3 a week level, man, you're getting a show Monday, you're getting a show Friday. We've been doing cool stuff with that, a few more interviews. It's just a great time. Head on over there right now, patreon.com/JURY, and buy my free political newsletter. 5 days a week, you get the headlines that are defining the political landscape, my commentary, and some funny gifts. It's a real quick read. I guarantee you are going to be smarter and better for it. How do you get it? Well, you go to this URL, freepoliticalnewsletter.com. freepoliticalnewsletter.com. It's just that simple. And finally, by The Contender. It's the game of presidential debate, and since it is tax week, we have a special gift for you. The game that I co-created with John Teasdale now has a brand new mini expansion, the Taxes mini expansion, taking quotes from the people that made this monstrosity of a tax code that we have to pay fealty to once a year. But also, you can get it for free. All you got to do is buy a base game. So head on over to thecontender.us, buy the original 500 card base game, award-winning, crowd-pleasing, the best political party game of all time. And when you use code TAXCUT at checkout, you get the Taxes expansion for free. So head on over there right now and do it. thecontender.us. But enough of talking about how we support the show. Folks, what do you say we just do the damn thing?
Politics, 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 politics.
Oh, my God. We got a little Weezer in there. We got a little Weezer in there. Hold on. Wait a minute. We're going to have to pause this. Congratulations, YouTube. You're getting some exclusive shit. Here we go. Whoa, fucking surprise Weezer. Who doesn't love that? All right. Goes a little something like this.
Politics, 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 politics.
Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to the Politics program. My name is Justin Robert Young. Lots to talk about. I'm just going to throw a few names at you, because this is a bold-faced name kind of week in political news. Hannity, there's a name for you. Oh, my God. Big old soup bone Irish, block-headed motherfucker. Hair looking so hard you could shoot a rifle at it. That bullet would just ping off, send it hurling into space. Hannity. We're going to talk about Hannity. We're going to talk about Comey, rocking everywhere. Comey. I found you, former FDI Director Comey. Big book launch week for him. Talking Comey. We're talking John Boehner. Good weed. White wine. Boehner comes alive in the nighttime. Talking Barbara Bush. Talking Cardi B. Bold-faced names, dog. Bold-faced motherfucking names. Let's start with Hannity. What do you say we start with Hannity? Y'all want to start with Hannity? Let's start with Hannity. Revealed in court this week that Michael Cohen, who previously had 2 disclosed clients, he had Donald Trump and he had a Republican fundraiser. Now, Michael Cohen is what is known in the industry as a fixer. If you're unaware of what a fixer is, this is, y'all ever seen Pulp Fiction? Y'all know Pulp Fiction, right? Or is Pulp Fiction aging? Is Pulp Fiction, are there kids out here? Are there people listening to this show that have never seen Pulp Fiction? I need a show of hands here in the chat. I need y'all to hit me up at Justin R. Young on Twitter. Hit me up. Is Pulp Fiction aging? Is it not? Is it not something that I can just reference out of nowhere? Because I got people in here, Reverend Puck, saying if you're unaware what a fixer is, watch Suits on USA. No, because you would know what a fixer is if you've watched Pulp Fiction. The Wolf. Get back in there, chill them motherfuckers out, and wait for the Wolf, who should be coming directly. Oh, you sending the Wolf? So, the Wolf, a fixer, is somebody who just fixes problems. There's a problem. You tell the fixer, fix the problem. Problem's fixed. Now, in Pulp Fiction, he's more of a kind of street-level fixer. He's just a guy that, in a crisis, is solving a problem for somebody. In the case of that film, 2 wayward gangsters. Michael Cohen is a celebrity fixer. So we're not necessarily dealing with dead bodies, but who knows? Who knows? But there are 3 clients, according to Michael Cohen's team, that he works with. The first, President of the United States, Donald Trump, close personal friend. Somebody that, according to Michael Cohen, according to this man, he loves Donald Trump so much. This goes beyond attorney-client. This goes from man to man. True love. A very male bond that 2 men have, that they are connected, almost as if they've docked with one another. That's the kind of grip that they have on their docking. Like that's how close Michael Cohen is. And by the way, that's the kind of docking that you really need if you're going to cough up $130,000 of your own goddamn hard-earned money to pay off Stormy Daniels, which is what happened. So, all right, we already understand Trump and Cohen very, very close. Donald Trump apparently went apoplectic. I always screw up that word. Apoplectic? Is that it? Hando Tadpool, following up with the Pulp Fiction references, says, was there a sign outside my house that said dead political career storage? Do you want to know why There wasn't a sign outside my house that said dead political career storage. Because storing dead political careers ain't my fucking business, Jules. So we know that. Then we find out that this Republican finance guy, Republican Party finance guy, I also was a Cohen client. There was one client that was a mystery, much like that infamous bash at the beach. We knew there were two, but who was the third man? And not unlike Hulk Hogan forming the New World Order oh so many moons ago, we got a similarly shocking revelation in open court when the judge compelled Cohen's legal team to reveal the name, and it was indeed Sean Hannity. Now, what does this mean immediately? Means everyone's going to make fun of Sean Hannity. Means that everybody's going to go dig up everything that he's ever said about Michael Cohen, and everyone's going to point out, hey, maybe this is the point where you should have made mention that you were a client of Michael Cohen. Parking Dog in the chat says no one reported that it was a CNN lawyer who was pushing for Hannity's name to be released. Yeah, I had seen that reported as the assembled press had a lawyer that was basically speaking for the assembled press. I wouldn't be shocked if it were if CNN knew that was the case and they were trying to get the name put out there. But at the same time, I don't think that's necessarily dirty pool. Like, if the name's there to be out and the judge agrees that that's the case, then that name deserves to be out. Whether or not it's there to fuck with the competition, I mean, that's fine. Now, to nobody's surprise, Hannity is going to break his wrist trying to hand wave this away. Not a big deal. Not a big deal. Nothing burger. Oh, my least favorite political phrase. Nothing burger. So here's the deal. I'm paraphrasing Hannity. You know, come on, man. You know, it's New York. You always wind up running into the same people. You know, I just know the guy. He's like a friend of a friend, right? You know, you're just hanging out. Next thing you know, I got some real estate business that I wanted to get into. So I'm just turning to my left. I'm turning to my right. I'm just looking for somebody to ask some questions about real estate. And next thing you know, who's just randomly here? Oh my God. Can you believe it's motherfucking Michael Cohen? Oh my God. What a small world. So Michael Cohen's sitting next to me and I'm like, hey, Michael Cohen, I'm Sean Hannity. What do you say I ask you some questions about real estate? And he's like, oh, okay. So that's it. I mean, I guess technically I'm a client, but I never got an invoice. I never paid him. Big, fat, nothing burger. But what about the rumors, Sean? What do you mean? What about the rumors about why you would hire somebody like Michael Cohen? But what now? The rumors. The rumors that when Bill O'Reilly was summarily punted from his perch at Fox News, that you hired Michael Cohen so Michael Cohen could hire a private investigator so you could suss out whether or not there were any pussy problems in wait for you. No, my thing was about real estate. So it was not about the fact that you went to somebody that you could hide your involvement with because you can claim attorney-client privilege. It's not illegal for Michael Cohen to hire a private investigator. You are just discussing things with your friend, and then he's taking actions. But if you do want it to be privileged information, whether or not money is exchanged, you do need to be considered his client, right? It's not attorney-friend privilege. It's attorney-client privilege. Because aside from Michael Cohen's relationship to real estate magnate Donald Trump, Michael Cohen isn't exactly a real estate expert, at least as it's been reported. Maybe there's an element of Michael Cohen's life for which I, as a voracious news reader, am unaware. And if that is the case, then I apologize to you, Michael Cohen. But if this is about some more salacious shit, well now, wouldn't that be something? Which kind of brings me to my larger point about this entire kerfuffle that exploded over Twitter over the last 72 hours. I don't know exactly how much this matters in the grand scheme of things if we are going to define the grand scheme of things as the investigation into Donald Trump. There is a possibility if this does continue to expand, and let's say maybe some of the women that were paid off by Michael Cohen to silence them so Sean Hannity could remain the sole heir to the once gleaming, glittering franchise of Fox News Primetime, if they start to come forward and advertisers start to drop, then Sean Hannity's ass could be the proverbial grass. But until now, there is only one really concrete silver lining, and that is that we get to laugh at Sean Hannity. I gotta find this clip. I should have had this clip ready to go. I'm gonna see. I'm just gonna do one search. I can't find it. There was a great clip of Sean Hannity just randomly in an interview dropping the fact that he trains MMA 5 days a week really hard. I don't know what it is, man. There's something about maybe I just don't listen to enough left-wing pundits. But does Rachel Maddow brag about CrossFit? Is it a male thing? Is it a male conservative thing where because Alex Jones does this too, where they just keep talking about like the gym and being in the gym and doing gym things, and like they're like brag about their workout guy. I wonder, is it just dudes? Do liberal talking heads talk? Like, does Lawrence O'Donnell talk about how many push-ups he can do? Yeah. Can we get Rachel Maddow to do CrossFit? Maddow, how many RTs before you do CrossFit for us? Live stream it on Twitch. I don't know. Sean Hannity's a bozo, though. Whatever. And everyone's shocked. Oh, Fox News is sticking with him. Yeah. Based on that, yeah. Now, I will guarantee you they will not stick with him if the hoe train starts making its way into their Manhattan offices. If all of a sudden it's a steady drumbeat of Me Too, but I was silenced, I was paid X amount of money to shut my mouth, then we are going to see bigger problems for Sean Hannity. But nobody should be shocked that Fox News stuck up with him. Because at this point, Fox News and Sean Hannity are hoping this goes away. But what this segment presupposes is maybe it won't. All right. The other big story this week was Comey. Had a big interview with George Stephanopoulos, released his book, and it was a wet fart. It sucked, right? You know, we're going to go to an email here. Just another pilot wrote in, hey, I'm not crazy, am I? This Comey President Trump public spat is delicious, isn't it? And I shared his enthusiasm because this all came up at the end of last week. And I guess I was just disappointed that we got the debut of political pundit Comey. I didn't want that Comey. I wanted lawman Comey, who's going to tell you about the law. Well, this is the law, son. I'm a even-handed lawman. Well, drink your milk, boy, because the law's gonna need you when you get big and strong. I wanted tales of like, all right, this is the line in the sand. This is what we've always done. This is where he fucked up. This is where I believe he has put himself at risk for obstruction of justice. Or the other way, that, hey, I know the rules and I don't like him. In fact, you might say that I personally fucking hate him. I think he's a goddamn diddly ding dong doofus. But based on my understanding of the law, he did not obstruct justice. He's just a wiener penis. And we kind of got neither. We got somebody that was like, he's morally unfit for office. All right, Lawbot. No one asked you to fucking grow feelings. Of course, a lot of people know he's morally unfit for office, but fucking enough of that. You're clouding up the judgment that you would have as as close to an unbiased law person that could say one way or another whether or not you believe, as somebody who was in the room, that there was an obstruction of justice. So, you know, now he's come out and said, like, oh, I'm not a Republican. And it's like, what the fuck, dude? Like, why? Who cares about James Comey, the political guy? Both sides fucking hate you, dude. Like, you've made a gigantic, you were part of a gigantic scene for the Republicans. By the way, Comey, everybody fucking hated him. Everybody hated James Comey before the fucking election. Republicans hated James Comey when he declined to prosecute Hillary Clinton for the emails. Democrats hated James Comey when he reopened that investigation. And that's before election day. That's before he gets fired from his dream job. By the way, I've gotten a bunch of people saying I don't get the fired thing. Is that a reference? Is that like a wrestling thing? Like what is that? That is an original PX3 meme. The original PX3 meme is fired from his dream job. And it started with James Comey. He is the original one who was very upset by the fact that he was fired from the FBI and had made a reference in his testimony that it was his dream job. So that's where fired from his dream job came from. And I don't want to read your fucking book, by the way. Because if you already gave all the salacious shit, or if that is supposed to be the spiciest of the spice that you would have in that book, then guess what, dickface? I'm not going to read the other half of the book that's part of your boring-ass bio. God, I hate that. Whenever there's anybody interesting and anybody writes a book, half of it is about fucking like, I was born on a stream. That stream represented everything to me and my family. I would fish in the stream. I would swim in the stream. One day, I lost my fishing rod in the stream. Chapter 2. Looking for my fishing rod. I found it the next day. It was by a rock. Chapter 3. My career at the FBI. Like, there's always something. There's always some, like, it just like transitions into it. And the only way that you can keep people interested is by making like broad allusions. Apparently in the Comey book, he talks about bullies. And he's like, these bully things are things that I would learn later. Fuck you. Fuck your book. Fucking Comey. I wanted so much more out of you, Comey. I wanted so much more. Here's somebody that's fucking giving me all I want. Here we go. All right, this guy. Fucking this guy gets it. People were saying to me last week about the Paul Ryan thing that, oh, Paul Ryan isn't that psyched that he's leaving. You know, he was a career politician. Now all of a sudden he has to resign from a job that he really liked, that he wanted to make his entire life. How could you possibly be happy about something like that? I'll tell you how. You're like, John motherfucking, I just popped a Boehner, bitch. Former Republican House Speaker is now advising a marijuana corporation. Oh, the tides are returning just in time for 420. Boehner is up in this bitch. We read now from NPR. John Boehner, former Speaker of the House, became an unlikely advocate for marijuana on Wednesday. Reversing years of opposition to the drug when he served in Congress, the Republican announced that his thinking on cannabis has evolved. Yeah, it has. Yeah, it has. What do you think John Boehner smokes out of? You think he's a joint guy, blunt guy, roar bong? I bet you John Boehner fucking milks that shit too. John Boehner's that motherfucker on a bong where like you got crazy greens. Like he gets greens and then like gets that shit so milky it looks yellow. Like that kind. And then it's just like that exhale takes 5 minutes. Balloon vape, maybe. You think he made a gravity bong out of a 2-liter in Congress? Codes Ramon points it out. He gets weepy when the kush is too loud. He does. He's just like, never in my life has my thinking evolved so fast. Just fucking crying. John Boehner tweeted that he was joining the board of advisors for Acreage Holding, a corporation formerly known as High Street Capital Partners that operates cannabis cultivation, processing, and dispensing across 11 states. Boehner said, I'm convinced descheduling the drug is needed so we can do research, help our veterans, and reverse the opioid epidemic ravaging our communities. Worth pointing out, his home state of Ohio is a place where marijuana is currently illegal. It was up on the ballot, I believe, last year, but the ballot initiative that would have made it medicinal also would have put in the ability for the state to basically license like 3 growers. And credit to the stoners of Ohio. Big shout out to the stoners of Ohio for not falling for that shit, because that would have been bad. Equitox Live says it's decriminalized in Ohio, so you don't go to jail, you get a citation. Kinsonic points out the real work. How long until John Boehner and Paul Ryan are like doing a weed Twitch stream? That's a Vice Channel exclusive, no doubt, right? Just those guys getting fucking smacked. That'd be amazing. And also, I'm totally on board with where Boehner's taking this politically. We need to decriminalize weed for the veterans. 2 things: for the vets and to curb the opioid epidemic. And I don't think that's wrong. I mean, it's way fucking easier to get pills right now than it is to get weed. Weed's far less harmful than getting some off-brand ass Roxycontin from some Dr. Nick looking motherfucker with a bogus ass script written on a Wendy's napkin. We'll see. We'll see where this goes. Number one, I just love the idea of John Boehner crying because the kush is too loud. Somebody needs to send me that Photoshop. Somebody give me that Photoshop. I'll put it up on my Instagram. Justin R. Young on Instagram. John Boehner crying because he's just so high that he has to cry. He's thinking of it. I got a big shout out. Barbara Bush. Barbara Bush is no longer with us, died at the age of 92, surrounded by her husband and family. It's kind of crazy. Barbara Bush was an old lady when I was a boy. One of my first news stories that I remember was Ronald Reagan getting elected for a second time. But that didn't really mean much to me at the time. The first president that I remember being the president was George H.W. Bush 4 years later, and Barbara Bush. And so I can't, in all honesty, speak to the impact that she left in the moment. But it's kind of amazing looking back into history and seeing what kind of first lady she was. Because, she did a lot of first lady things. Like her big issue was literacy, libraries. But she was also kind of sassy. And she really brought a liveliness to George H.W. Bush, Bush 41, who very often could be viewed as kind of a cold fish, just sort of a Washington bureaucrat type, nerdy dude with glasses who waited around long enough and eventually got his time. But Barbara Bush was kind of a jokester, a prankster. She wasn't just kind of sitting around. At one point, George H.W. Bush mentioned that he didn't like broccoli. So she had like some ridiculous amount of broccoli delivered to the White House and took a picture. In one of the Bush family bios that I read, she also was apparently one of the funniest people that you could ever meet in your life. Like, she was really, really, really quick-witted and would repeatedly clown her son Jeb for not becoming president before his brother when everybody expected, and also for not having enough money to run. Barbara Bush, for whatever you think of her, and miss me with that, you know, the Katrina shit and some of the other stuff that she said when she was like really fucking old, because I'm not saying it wasn't wrong. All I'm saying is she's old as fuck and she was still out there. That lady was out there in 2016. That lady was fucking cutting a promo on Donald Trump in 2016. And Donald Trump traded fucking pain with her. Was clowning Jeb for the fact that that he was hiding behind his mom's skirt. That's a lady. Oh my God. That lady went hard. She campaigned. There are pictures of Barbara Bush on some icy ass streets at 90 fucking 1 years old trying to get her boy elected. When everyone needed, when Jeb needed everybody, she got her ass up out of bed at 90 motherfucking 1. Oh my God. I wanted to share with you guys this tweet because to me, it's something that I aspire to. This comes from Katie Watson. She's a CBS Politics reporter. She wrote on Twitter yesterday, a source close to the Bush family tells CBS News' Jenna Gibson that while Mrs. Bush's comforted care makes it difficult for her to breathe, she is alert and was having conversations last night. She was also, and I need y'all to see this. This is just too fucking good. She was also having a bourbon. How fucking cool is that? You live to your early 90s. You're surrounded by your family. You decide that you are going to pull the plug. By the way, she was in comfort care. They never said hospice. But that shit was let me die. And on her last night on earth, she's fucking sipping that bourbon. Hardcore. Big shout out. PX3 salute to the dearly departed Barbara Bush. Now that we've cleared out the memory of Barbara, I got some bones to pick. Last week I told everybody, God is my witness, that I wanted to be the kind of political pundit for the Cardi B generation, and Cardi B specifically. And I feel like this is a simpatico thing between me and Cardi B. Political nerd, presidential history nerd, wants to know where her motherfucking money's going when it comes to her taxes. And then I'm out here, got my eyes on some Johnny-come motherfucking latelys. John Oliver, I see you. I see you, John Oliver. Fucking raising your voice and pointing to a Photoshop punchline. Fucking wrapping up your whole taxes thing based on Cardi. Come on. Back, fucking pump your brakes. I see you too, Bernie. Well, Bernie Sanders. Bernie Sanders. Bitch, you couldn't fuck with me if you wanted to. Knock me down 9 times, I'll get up 10. Bernie Sanders today. Bernie Sanders to motherfucking day. Tweeting out Social Security tweeted out that a line from the piece that we read last week about how Franklin Delano Roosevelt was a great president because he created the entitlements. The entitlements that, including Social Security. So Social Security, or a Social Security advocacy group, tweeted out and said, hey, look, Cardi's on our side. Bernie Sanders tweeted it out. I'm just saying, all you motherfuckers, back the line. Back the line. I was here. I recognized the political wisdom of Cardi B before any of you sons of bitches. I'll handle that. Cardi, I got your back. I'm not trying to use you as a political football. I'm here for the oracle of Cardi B. Because you want to know what? We salute. We salute. Watch that Coachella performance. That lady had like 30 strippers up on stage. And it's with that we reopen my favorite segment of this podcast. Because, folks, this is the only way we like to break down stats on this show. Oh, hell yeah. We are opening up the political with PX3.
Get on the floor if you got that booty.
Dance, 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 dance. This is a Magellan poll for the Arizona Republican primary, taken from April 11th to April 13th. Of course, for the Arizona Senate seat. Sorry, 11th to the 15th. 755 likely voters polled with a margin of error of 3.6%. Welcome, first to the stage, with 25% of the vote. She might spell her name with an I, but you might be asking why she is in this race. It is Kelly Ward.
Get on the floor if you got that booty.
Oh. Kelly Ward with 25%. But welcome now to the stage, the man with 26. Oh, he's probably guilty of war crimes if what he did was outside of the United States. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome Sheriff Joe Arpaio! But your leader, with 36% of the vote, she is not a crazy pants person like the other two that she's running against, and yet probably should have a bigger lead. It's Martha McSally. That, of course, is McSally with a 10-point spread over two of the craziest motherfuckers to run for office. Martha, why did you say that name? I mean, honestly, Kelly Ward and Joe Arpaio are fucking lunatics. Martha McSally, I don't even know shit about Martha McSally, but I'm going to take a guess that she is not as crazy as Joe Arpaio and Kelly Ward. That, of course, is for Jeff Flake's Senate seat. 26%, though, for Sheriff Joe. I mean, that guy's got the biggest name recognition, right? Let's go ahead into But Your Emails. You can write us at theyoungamerican@gmail.com. Again, theyoungamerican@gmail.com. Eric writes us. Last week, I was enjoying an episode of PX3 when I got called into my boss's cube for a performance review. Things are going pretty smoothly until I look down at my watch and see that the screen I left open was the podcast controls. What are the words right there in plain view while I'm getting a one-on-one review with my boss? Well, it was the title for last week's episode. He called her a whore. Great episode title. Maybe not something that I should have had displayed while chatting with the person who has a good amount of influence on my life. Thank you very much, Eric. By the way, Eric Greitens refusing to resign. I think it was after the show last week that the official report on Eric Greitens came out. Whoa, Nelly. I got an apology to make to that hairdresser. Holy shit. I thought that hairdresser, and as it turned out, that hairdresser and Greitens did eventually have a consensual affair, but they were just kind of flirting as hairdresser and guy who was getting his hair cut. That hairdresser had a failing marriage, so she goes over to that dude's house, and it goes from fucking 0 to 50 Shades of Grey immediately. Like, there ain't no time for love, Dr. Jones, with Eric Greitens. That dude went right from, hey, it's great to see you. You want to come down and do a perfect pull-up? To like, hey, you dirty whore. Oh, you're a fucking whore, aren't you? It's like, ease into this shit, motherfucker. Like, you didn't even give the lady, like, I have a very specific lovemaking taste. He didn't even give her the 50 Shades of Grey. He just went right into it. It was like, first move, handshake. Second move, tie you to a restraint, rip off your clothes, and take a blackmail photo. It's only a matter of time before he's the fuck out. That report was dirty. That was dirty. And then, by the way, this poor fucking hairdresser breaks down like this. This poor fucking hairdresser feels racked with guilt about it. Goes and tells her husband that a marriage that is already on the rocks. The husband records her. Fucking breaks up the marriage. Says, fuck you. I'm done with this shit. So she then starts having a more consensual affair with Eric Greitens. And then the husband releases the tape. This woman can't catch a motherfucking break. Because then that motherfucker gets elected governor. And now he's going to pay for it. Oh, my God. Ken writes in, isn't it a shame that Zuck isn't an Ayn Rand hero? It would have been fun if he had gone off on the Senate like Rourke or John Galt. I mean, do you really want to see angry Mark Zuckerberg? Really? Okay, I guess. Rich writes, do these deep state bureaucrats think they can convince anyone that is not already on their side by signing this piece of shit statement? It kind of confirms all my fear about lifetime FBI and DOJ employees. What he is pointing to is the following. A DOJ alumni statement regarding Ron Rothstein, Robert Mueller, and the rule of law. We, the undersigned, are proud alumni of the United States Department of Justice. We serve this institution out of a commitment to the founding American principles that are democratic, republican. If you are a former DOJ employee and would like to add your name below, click here. This list will be updated twice daily with new signatures. And right now there are 743 signatories, alumni of the Department of Justice. Now, the question was initially, do these deep state bureaucrats think they can convince anyone that's not already on their side by signing this piece of shit statement? We all have allegiances to where we work. We all have allegiances to people that helped us in life. And I do think that part of the problem in Washington is that you do have people that are more invested in the status quo than are invested in doing the right thing. But, like, I don't view it in a tremendously political lens, or at least I have compassion for these guys. Like, I don't think that they are trying to maintain the deep state. I think that they're looking out for people that they think, you know, that they think were influential to them or good. Now, that's not to say that you don't get problems that people insinuate with kind of the deep state being a permanent class of bureaucrats in Washington that are the real kind of power behind the throne. That you don't get these problems from that kind of loyalty. I think that that's the case. But I don't think that they're necessarily trying to do anything other than protect the fact that they had a job and the people that helped them with that job, they want to show loyalty to. Loyalty, loyalty, loyalty. And also, that's something that the president tremendously values. You want to know one of my favorite Donald Trump things? Is his obsession with Eric Holder. That motherfucker loves Eric Holder. Because he views Eric Holder as very loyal to Obama. That's what matters. Protect your neck. Who's got my back? Who's willing to go to jail for me? Because Eric Holder, by everything that I've seen, is a very articulate, funny, interesting guy. He might run for president. He won't be able to make it to the presidency. Because he's going to have to eat shit on Fast and Furious. That gun trafficking thing. Like, he has to own it. And Donald Trump loves him for it. Because he's like, I wish I had a fucking Eric Holder. The first blush of anything bad that Jeff Sessions saw. And he fucking scampered away and recused himself. John writes in, I know it doesn't drop until next week, but with all the early reviews starting to come out, just wondering your thoughts on adding Comey's book to the book club. I'm not really interested in gossip slam books like Fire and Fury, but wanted to see if you had any thoughts. At the very least, Fire and Fury is all about the shit I care about. Whether or not it's all true is inconsequential. At least it's all about the presidency. It's all about these people. I don't give a fuck about how John Comey fucking made his career. I have limited interest in how he prosecuted the mob. I have less than no interest in the fact that he prosecuted Martha Stewart. So literally all I care about is his interactions with Donald Trump. And he already talked about all that. So, yeah. It's just not my thing. I would be surprised if it made it onto the list. A reminder. If you have Amazon Prime, then I want you to head on over to justinryoung.tv. That'll bring you to my Twitch channel. What I want you to do is hit the subscribe button up there, and it will tell you how to link your Amazon Prime account with your Twitch account, or a Twitch account. You can then subscribe to my channel for free. You wind up giving me money out of Jeff Bezos' pocket. Another note, if you are an Amazon Prime subscriber, head on over to the Twitch channel. You can buy bits. These are basically ways that you can just throw money at my face. And right now, Amazon is doing a great deal where you pay 99 cents, you get 500 bits. So essentially a bit is a cent. You get $5 for the price of $1. That's a deal that don't exist in the real world. So I would highly recommend you do it and then throw those bits right on my face. Oh, I'll just be rolling around in them. You can also get our taxes expansion, our taxes mini expansion for free with the Contender. Listen, man, spring's coming up. Spring has sprung, really. Summer's coming up. Beach season's coming up. Family vacations. You're going to want the best family-friendly political party game of all time in your life, and you can get it by going on over to thecontender.us. If you buy it now and use the code TAXCUT, you get the taxes mini expansion for free. So head on over there, thecontender.us. And, of course, 5 days a week in your inbox, right about lunchtime on the East Coast, you get the Politicsx daily newsletter. It's free. It's a free political newsletter. That is, you can get it at freepoliticalnewsletter.com. So goddamn easy. If it were any easier, I would literally just throw it in your face physically. I'd print it out and I'd throw it in your face.
Politics.
A reminder, you can email theyoungamerican@gmail.com with anything that you have on your mind. Music has been provided by Valesco and Trop Killers, and you can follow me at Justin R. Young everywhere. Download archived episodes of this show at bonerwars.com. That about wraps it up for this episode of the show. A reminder, some shows talk about politics. Others talk about politics. Still more, man, they're talking about politics. But this one right here, oh, hell yeah. We're talking about all three, baby. I will see you guys next week. Diamond Club hopes you have enjoyed this program. Diamond Club hopes you have enjoyed this program.